Pre-recorded, this is the Red Ticket Blues podcast. I am Brian Buckley. This is being recorded on September 22nd. I had to think about it. To hit the internets on September 23rd, 2016. How is everybody? I wish I was as good as you, because you know what? I am furious. I don't even know where to start. The world's still spinning. I believe oxygen is still in the air, and we're still breathing after this war of wars between Katie Nolan and Bart Hubbuch, two people I couldn't care less about. And this is the big one. This is one that'll really stick in your craw. This is the one that'll really hurt. The Baltimore Orioles are not planning to honor David Ortiz. Just gross stuff. Ugh. This man needs to be honored. He needs respect. We have not given him enough attention. Anyways, you can always listen to the show on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at BrianBuck13 and at Red Ticket Blues. So how's everyone doing? Are you pissed off? Are you as pissed off as I am? Because you should be. Those are two things that... You know, we got an election going on. I haven't heard one goddamn word from Trump or Hillary regarding this beef of Katie Nolan and Bart Hubbuch and the lack of respect for a slugger, a humanitarian, a citizen of this universe, David Ortiz, and he's not being fucking honored by the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles, guess what? You just made the list, the shit list, and it's not a good list to be on. You do not want that. Whew. Just trying to let it all happen. Let it all happen. How's everybody doing? I just want to let everyone know, the next 2 weeks, the Red Ticket Blues podcast, might be a little iffy. I'm going to be leaving the country. So, while I can bring equipment with me to continue doing the podcast, I'm not really sure how much relevant sports information I can give you because I'm going to be in Europe. I don't know how much they really care about the, wild card standings in the MLB or NFL. I guess they're starting to get into the NFL, but I don't know. I'm just saying it's going to be a little rough. So I will, we'll talk a little bit about that later, but just letting you know the next 2 weeks till the, that second week of October might be a little rough. So if you're looking, where are the episodes? I don't know. I mean, if you really want me to, I guess I could record them and just tell you about my day in Europe, if that's really that interesting to you. If it is, let me know. You're a pathetic, sad soul, which you really need to get a fucking life if you just want to know about that. But you know what? Listen, I shouldn't insult people, even though I just did. I'll do it if you want, but just to let you know. So how is everyone? Here we are, end of September. It's yesterday was the first day of fall. First day of fall. I am again in Northern California. There were clouds yesterday, and it was a little cool, a little cloudy. I woke up and I did not see the sun. Was very petrified. I wondered if this was the end. But we're no rain. Like I said, it is day 23 in California and no rain. And it's just, again, it's odd. I don't know how the trees are still standing up, and they talk about a rainy season. This sounds like it's going to be absolutely miserable if life continues here and all this agricultural hub that this area is, that it must be a really fucking rainy season. I guess, I don't know. I'm not used to this. I'm used to it most of the time being miserable anyways, but I don't know. Anyways, let's start. Where should we start with the things that are just making me so angry? I want to throw this printer box, for effect. I did it again, huh? You get it. My wife's probably wondering, what kind of podcast is this? So where should we start? Let's start with the Katie Nolan, Bart. Well, it's mostly about Bart Hubbuch. Bart Hubbuch, New York Post NFL columnist, who is, he's a professional troll. First of all, he writes for the New York Post, and no disrespect to the guests that we've had on the podcast from the New York Post, including Phil Mushnick, Kent Davidoff, and Mike Vaccaro. Now, I know some people say, Mushnick, not me. He's an old cranky man, and listen, he's a preferred taste. I get that, I really do. And Davidoff, I know, kind of ticks people off a little bit just because he's a little bit of a sarcastic, obnoxious jerk sometimes, even though I love it. I don't think anyone says, does anyone say bad words about Mike Vaccaro? I don't think that really happens. But Bart Hubbuch is a professional troll, and we all know they exist on Twitter. And, he's got some sort of real penchant to go after the city of Boston, implying that people in Boston, that they're, because of their sports teams, they want to, kill themselves, suicide a lot. What was the other one? I don't know if it was about the city of Boston, but it was about police officers involved in a lot of the high-profile cases these days, dead police officers shooting, things like that. Just a guy that is there for shock value and has no redeeming qualities. I think we can all agree on that mostly. So what happened was, I don't really know, but what happened was, I guess some of the Barstool guys and, Kirk Menahan, a WEI in Boston, has had a long feud with Bart Hubbuch. If you're not listening to the Kirk Menahan podcast, Enough About Me, has a lot of Boston-centric guests, but very, very good stuff. He had him on, and it was good. Hubbuch sort of crawled. They both were very immature, but it's still, they've gone back and forth. Long story short, get to the fucking point, Brian. Got it. So they were going at it. The Barstool guys were going at it. And then Katie Nolan jumps in. And here's my thing with Katie Nolan. I have never watched a show. I've seen a few segments. First of all, the show, for the longest time while I was on the East Coast, it's on at midnight. Sorry, I'm not staying up to midnight to watch Katie Nolan. It's not fucking happening. My other problem with the show is, it's one of those shows where there's no studio audience, but they have the jackasses in the background who are doing the producing, camera work, all that. And once she says something funny, you just hear in the background. I hate shows like that. Either have nothing or have a laugh track. Don't give me this guy. Do you really think that I'm going to believe the jackasses in the back those are sincere laughs? That's the biggest bunch of horse shit. So another thing with Katie Nolan is she's obviously talented. She has 240,000 followers. She's come from she's from Boston, and she has sort of went from, I think it was, she did writing and then went to YouTube videos for a certain site, and then she's become very big, very popular, won Emmys. I'm not going to say she sucks, because I think that just sounds like a jealous asshole that wish I had 240,000 followers, which, you know what, would be really rough, because a lot of them would be totally confused by the incessant Francesa tweeting. I'd probably lose a large majority of those. But anyways, Katie Nolan, what is, she gets this praise for some of her takes on controversial subjects such as Roger Goodell, Greg Hardy. I mean, things like that. I mean, it's like, you're not really Roger Goodell, Greg Hardy. There's other ones that are just like, yeah, who's going to be on the other side to defend that? I mean, are you going after Hitler next? Mussolini's a bad guy. Pol Pot, he was terrible. I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with that she's attractive. And this is all, I know this is going to come across as some people say, that's misogynistic. But you know what? The media is absolutely in love with her. And you know what it is? She's attractive. She's not a moron. And she can hang with the guys in this sports media world, which is obviously male-centric and, lots of testosterone, testicular fortitude everywhere. And she can hang. So every media member, my God, you'd think that she, was Mother Teresa and blessing people. Oh, God, Katie Nolan, I mean, just falling over themselves. I could just imagine throwing papers in the air when she does something. Anyways, what she did was, after the Barstool guys got into it, she sort of came in and just really kind of trolled herself, getting into it, and just, it's almost like, when it's like, a bunch of hunters shoot a deer and the deer barely has any life left, and, someone comes over and just kicks it and goes, yeah, hey, fucking deer. I mean, that's what it was like. It was just like, it's stop. You're trying to jump in. These internet sort of jump into somebody's mention, if you will. Mentions, not just one, but two. So, again, I really don't want to take any side in it. I guess if I had to pick a side, it would be Katie Nolan, because Bart Hubbuch's a pretty big piece of shit. And he disappeared from Twitter. His phone was disconnected. And voila, he's back. And I guess the whole issue was he wanted to let everyone know that the Patriots were starting a black quarterback for the first time in their 57-year history. And Katie Nolan said something along the lines of, "You're so brave." It's my friend tweeting me, text messaging me here. He moved to the West Coast. Obviously, you become a hippie some way. So my friend just says, probably Moonbeam's all moonbeaming. That's my name now, Moonbeam. Anyways, so the world was on fire. On fucking fire. With the Bart Hubbuch, Katie Nolan, just, back and forth. I mean, shame on Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, and our current president, Barack Obama, for not commenting on this, taking a stance and forwarding us to a better Twitter life. Okay, enough. It's over. Now, this is something that I neglected to mention on the last podcast. the last few podcasts, actually. David Ortiz is being honored by the New York Yankees, which is downright pathetic. He's being honored in his farewell tour, which, if you've listened to the show for a long time, you know I think all farewell tours are the biggest just disgrace to anything. They are pampered egomaniacs who need more pampering and more ego strokes, because we need that. And everyone could say, well, no, with Jeter's. No, Jeter's just the same. Jeter might be the worst, okay? People don't want to hear that. But, you know, I have a feeling. That's what I think. What about Mariano? You know what? If you don't think that was involved, if you don't think ego's involved with him either, you're nuts. So they're going to be honoring him. New York Yankees, who this guy has killed the New York Yankees. And that, I'm not saying that's a reason not to honor him. He's also one of the biggest, in the words of Mike Francesa, one of the biggest con men in the game. We all know he failed the steroid test. And listen, do you know how many guys were on steroids during that time 10 years ago? So many. And people would say, you're a Yankee fan. We all know. We all know my Alex Rodriguez thoughts. So those are on record. But David Ortiz, the same David Ortiz who, when Derek Jeter was gallivanting around the fucking country saying, oh, thank you for this surfboard, thank you for these cowboy boots, whatever horseshit team wants to give them just some ridiculous gift that some asshole made up, say, listen, we'll present him with this. Yes, I like this. Yes, very good. The same David Ortiz said, you know what, when I go out, I don't want a farewell tour. Right. So, of course, he gets his farewell tour. And now what did he just say last week? I could not find the audio, but I did read it in print. If he had to do it all over again, he wouldn't do the farewell tour. This piece of shit, I mean, I'm sorry. They're in baseball terms. I don't know David Ortiz. He seems like he gives to a lot of charities. He's a nice guy. But in baseball world that we live in, I can do without David Ortiz for the rest of my life. This guy, I mean, because he has had such an amazing career, because his personality is just so charming, his face is fucking plastered to everything. And you know what? There's this other thing, Brian, that maybe you don't want to bring up. Oh, by the way, he's an MVP candidate. Now, David Ortiz, we all know he did steroids. I mean, the people in Boston, the people in New England can, you know, put the blinders on and just say, oh, no, it was an anonymous test. Who the fuck cares? What does it matter? You know, Alex Rodriguez was implicated in the same test. Didn't seem to matter then. Now, obviously, Alex has had his own issues afterwards, and like I've said several times on this podcast, Alex Rodriguez is a disgrace to baseball, coming from a New York Yankee fan. But this idea that it was supposed to be anonymous, it was supposed to be confidential. Oh, that's right, when they're on there and it comes leaking out, then that means they didn't do it. Listen, raw deal. I understand. You think when you do something, the rules that apply to it, they're going to be adhered to. They weren't. You're still a cheater.
And you know, Big Papi, Big Daddy, I think they feel kind of...
Like, I'm always amazed. Like, you're a human being who goes through life like I do. Like, you get up, you do things, you work. Do you really believe that David Ortiz should be honored more?
Absolutely. Come on, guys. Let's
Why?
So this is Dan Duquette slapping the face to
because one time because a bunch of times he's gotten the ball over a fence. We should honor and worship him.
I might quit drinking, but that bell goes off when it's time.
Commanded his fastball, finish on it, throwing the split. He's been terrific. Who's it?
I'm pissed. When you have a talk, you and me.
David.
I'll be there in a minute.
Okay. For people.
Bitch and moan. Yeah, oh, bitch and moan, bitch and moan. That's all you ever do.
I don't know how this baseball game is gonna end up.
Speed up the pace of the game.
There's no way. It don't matter what they do. The game not gonna speed up. That's the bottom line.
I'll be here at home, drinking on a nice cold beer and listening to you, bitch and moan.
That he won't use banned substances because to do so is to disrespect one family and the game.
I test you, you test positive, you're gonna be out.
We begin tonight with a Red Sox shocker. The New York Times is reporting that beloved Boston slugger David Ortiz tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs back in 2003, along with then teammate Manny Ramirez.
miss that bitching and moaning, aren't we? We totally are. Oh, man. Every day, something, gimme. I will say listen, I have to give him credit for after the whole Boston Marathon bombing thing, saying this is our fucking city. Listen, that was cool. I got to give him that. The guy's a clutch player. He has killed the Yankees, which is part of the hate that you're hearing, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I mean, there is no... steroids do not insert a clutch gene, if that exists. Let's debate clutch gene. So much respect to give in there, but David Ortiz, my God. First of all, these Baltimore Orioles, this franchise, do you know what they're doing? It's almost as if, like Jesus rose from the dead. He walked out of the cave, and he's walking around the townspeople, and the Baltimore Orioles just said, "Oh, hi, you just came out of that cave," and they spit in his face. At least I think that's how the whole resurrection thing happened. I did not pay attention a lot in catechism class. CCD was never up my alley, and my parents can attest to that one. So David Ortiz is a potential MVP candidate, along with teammate Mookie Betts, who we talked about last week. I mean, the Boston Red Sox, their offense is so sick that you can never really count them out of a game. You really can't. They can be down 8-1, and I'm not satisfied with that. I mean, and you got the rookie, Andrew Benintendi. Jackie Bradley's had which makes you think. I mean, this is a guy who was a fringe major leaguer a few years ago. It's terrible that we have to worry about that sort of stuff in baseball. I mean, not to sound all, I want to wrap my arms around the game and just snuggle with it and give it a hug, but it's the truth. A entire decade or more decades have ruined the game where anyone has a sudden surge, they are suspect and probably, they're probably doing something. That's the way I look at it. So, the New York Yankees continue to stay with it. I think the people are looking at them saying, hey, they're not that far back. Yeah, you're right, but the problem is they have more teams in front of them now. They're not playing. I mean, the Baltimore Orioles have been embarrassed by the Red Sox. They are, and the Blue Jays, both those two teams. I mean, the Red Sox have sort of just, and the Yankees, add all three of them. The Red Sox have sort of just taken them and strangled them. I mean, look at this right now. The Red Sox again. They did honor him. So I say all this. I'm looking at this. So they changed it. Poppy's parting gift, dugout, phone, and donation. Oh, that was something because they got shit. So they said, oh, let's do this. Oh, because he smashed the dugout phone. Because that's so funny. He smashed the dugout phone. Oh, wow. Okay. So, hey, listen, at least I'm correcting myself before the end of the podcast here. Just prior to playing his final Reagan, it was honored in a ceremony that contained humor and sincerity. O's announcer Jim Hunter served as master of ceremonies and announced to Ortiz and the crowd to watch some video highlights that everyone could enjoy. The montage includes Ortiz belting 3 home runs against the New York Yankees. How the fuck does that come into play? A rival for both the Red Sox and Orioles. The next one was a clip of he hit the phone. I got it. So incensed getting caught. Yeah, we remember the story. Presented him with a phone and then present a check for $10,000 in Ortiz's name, which helps critically ill children in the Dominican Republic. Okay. Ian Brown, MLB. I mean, you can't get mad at him. I mean, sincerity. Those guys work for MLB. Everything has to be vanilla as shit. But what I was getting to before all that, and how about the Mets, man? That was rough last night, or on a Wednesday night. Cespedes looks like he's putting one in the seats, and the outfielder for the Braves just sort of took it away. Those are the kind of games the Mets need. The Yankees 3-7 on their last 10, which is pathetic. They're only 2.5 games back as we speak, and they're losing right now. Wow, 0 runs, awesome. Yeah, who's pitching for the? Okay, yeah, I know you guys find all this boring, but Gary Sanchez continues to be a freak, a guy that hey, listen, I've got to be fair. Got to be fair here. Someone needs to get the cup out for him and say, piss in that now. I mean, it's ridiculous what's happening right now. Absolutely ridiculous. And, well, baseball's going to start to heat up. You saw Madison Bumgarner and Yasiel Puig, which I've always said Puig is a hot dog and he kind of annoys me, but he was not at fault in this with Madison Bumgarner. Jesus Christ, man. We want to stick to the rules of baseball. Yelling at a guy, don't look at me? Get over yourself. This hick who, listen, you have to respect his baseball skills. A guy who gave his wife a cow for a wedding gift. You tell me, don't look at me? What the get over, stop it. Don't look at me. Who the hell are you? Especially with a name like that. Madison Bumgarner. Gardner? Anyways, let's see. We got the Patriots are winning 10-0 right now with the backup quarterback. There's rumors that Julian Edelman might play tonight as the backup quarterback. the emergency quarterback, as it will. So, anyways, let's move on from this. I'm sort of stammering here. I'm also looking at my phone at the same time. What else did I want to talk about today? Ortiz, yeah, we did that. Nolan, Hubbuch. The other thing. Oh, so yeah, I'm going to be traveling to Europe, and this will be the longest flight I've ever been on. It'll be about 10 hours to London, and then we're going other places, but 10 hours from San Francisco to London. I think the longest flight I've ever been on is about 6 hours, and that was like New York City or Boston to Shannon Airport in Ireland. So I don't know about you guys, but immediately the first thing I heard when this was a direct flight, first we were going to go with the stop in New York City, stretch your legs, do all that, and I kind of wanted that. But the layover was like 3 or 4 hours, so I understand, it was understandable that we would say, yeah, fuck it, let's do it direct. The first thing that come to mind, and I'm sorry, but I was worrying about going to the bathroom. I have never gone to the bathroom. Number 2, if you will, on a plane. I don't want to, but it's I don't know. That was the first thing I thought about. Is that mental? What is wrong with me? That is the first thing I worried about. International flying when you're, and I know some of you have probably been like, I've been to Australia. I've done this. I've done that. It's no big deal. I mean, I because, alcohol is complimentary, I plan to drink moderately to heavily in the beginning so I can fall asleep. And I'm not picking up any car afterwards or anything, so don't have to worry about that. Imagine that, coming half drunk, get in a car, and driving on the other side of the road for the first time in my life. Oh, no problems there whatsoever. That'll fucking work out perfect. Absolutely no casualties, nothing, not a problem. So I'm really worried about it, though, and I keep thinking about it. I'm going to be completely honest. I continue to think about putting my ass on that toilet you see how many, when you're on a plane, you see how many people go to the bathroom. I mean, some people do it. I think some people are faking it. I don't want to say faking it, like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, I'm showing off to the rest of the passengers. What I mean is, I think they're like, let me just pretend to go to the bathroom so I don't look like an asshole just standing here and stretching. And drip, drip, boom, we move on. But you see how many people go in and out, in and out, in and out. And then, listen, you also have that feeling when you're in that bathroom. It's not secure. You know why? Because you're 35,000 feet in the fucking air. So while you're standing there, there's a little shaking going on. And for guys, well, that involves piss being thrown everywhere. And there's also that feeling, too, of going to the bathroom on a plane. It's like when you're on the subway and you're going in between the cars. It's like that, yeah, I'm secure, but I'm not secure. Like, I feel like anything could happen. A trap door could open. I could go flying, or not it's a trap door in a subway, but you know what I mean. You're secure, but you're not too secure. It's like, I'm here, but I'd like to get out of this situation as soon as possible. So, and then there's also, what if I do have to go? I mean, but I have to go, but I don't want to. And I say, all right, only 5 more hours. You can do this. Come on, be a man. I mean, do you hold it in? Do you release it through gas? I mean, because what I do, and I know some people are listening to this and cringing, going, oh, God, Brian, come on. What is this potty talk? Yeah, it's literally potty talk. What I do sometimes, and I'll be honest, I'm not afraid to say it. I know some of you are probably afraid to say it, and it doesn't make for a good conversation piece, but guess what? I'm going to say it. I have to be in the right mood when I go on a plane. Sometimes I hold it in, if I have to expel gas. Fart, if you will. I keep saying if you will. It sounds really pretentious. So I apologize. Sometimes I hold it in and I go, why? And then other times I just let it out. And what you do is, once it's made its way around to the sulfur, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But once it's around, you sort of give that look to people and you go, oh, God. You don't want to make your face too gross, but you just sort of, guys know what I'm talking about. You look at another guy and just sort of roll the eyes and just go, ugh. Yeah, I smell it too, bro. I'm on the same page. But then you have the ultra stuffy people who are just, they go, oh, I guess not ultra stuffy. I guess I've done it too. But where you put your shirt over there, over your mouth, and it's just over your nose, and just, it's basically telling everyone, listen, I smell your shit, and I don't want to smell it anymore, but guess what? That's going to go through the shirt. I hope people have to realize that. Unless you're putting a pillow up to your nose, it's not going to make a difference. So anyways, that's bathroom etiquette on a plane, or potential bathroom etiquette. don't know. What else do I want to talk about? We'll give you picks, NFL picks at the end of the show. I want to talk about it's something that's really not that important. And that's Brangelina. That's Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. Living in the past there, Brian. Get over it. Hollywood or Extra would be so pissed at me. Asshole has podcast. Can't remember who was married to Brad Pitt. You won't believe what happened. Yes, I am just a jerk with a podcast. And I told a gentleman, a listener here, the Wet Bandits 19, Mike, who's a great follow. You should all follow him. That I'm just a jerk with a podcast. That's all I am. It takes no talent. I try to do the best I can. I hope I can put a smile on your face while you're sitting in your cubicle and you're saying, yes, a little late here. By the way, I realize this is hitting Friday. Dropping. That's what the kids say. It drops on Friday, so I know you're all looking forward to your weekend coming, and we're such fucking just zombies trained to look forward to us. Oh, it's Friday. Yeah, we get 2 days off from this hell known as life, and we all have our calendar looking forward to things. Next thing you know, you're dead. This is the most upbeat podcast you could possibly imagine. So Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are divorcing. I have been uncontrollable for days, just crying. In fact, speaking of pillows, I had my head in the pillow. I wanted to end it. It was just, things like this, they just bring you down, and you don't want to live anymore. But apparently, I guess she caught him cheating with a co-star of a new spy film that I won't watch. I don't think I could name any movie out there right now. First of all, I got rid of cable. And I'll tell you, when you live near a city, that digital antenna, boy, that is something. That is something. You get everything. And through sports, I have avenues. Just no questions, really. Don't worry about it, is all I'm saying. Don't worry about it. But yeah, some crappy movie that I won't go see. And again, sounds familiar. That's sort of how Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt sort of started their rendezvous. And they took in half a nation with their 5 million fucking kids. So they are calling it quits. New York Post, the classy New York Post that employs Bart Hubbuch, just had I think it said Brangelina 2008 or whatever the hell they got married to 2016, and then an enormous picture of Jennifer Aniston. I mean, this is just total who gives a shit stuff anyways. Yes, ironically, I'm talking about it, so I look like the hypocrite. This is fully known. I mean, I'm looking at a window that's sort of reflecting as a mirror right now, so I'm aware of who the hypocrite is, okay? Speaking of, there's not a transition at all. Let's talk about what I'm drinking here. So we got a Lagunitas limited release, which is it says Waco Tango Foxtrot. I know that's some sort of military term, I believe. A multi-robust, jobless recovery ale. Alcohol content 7.85. It's an odd beer. You can taste that there's a lot going on, as you would think, but you can't really taste what's going on. You can just tell this isn't your normal, just bullshit Pilsner beer. I don't know. I don't know what I give it on Untapped. I really don't. I don't know. But back to Brad and Angelina. Angelina Jolie, I mean, I think Brad may have done the best thing he possibly could, and that seemed like a terrible... she seems like a raging bitch. Let's be honest. I will give her credit, though. She, in a world of Hollywood phonies, because they are all phonies. A lot of backslapping. They're all so brave, and they dare to try. They dare to defeat the naysayers. Get over yourself. You're fucking acting in a movie. She, man, for all the people that care about, what's going on in like loser countries and everything, she is there and she's donating money. She is donating her time. I give her credit in that way. She is one of the few that actually, and listen, Bono, whatever you want to say. Well, he might be as obnoxious as fuck, hair dyed, stop wearing glasses, you're 70 years old. He's another one, man. It's one thing to just say, I donated this money. But it's another thing to be at all these events, go this. And Angelina Jolie, I mean, she was on the front line in this shit. But at the same time, I can understand. It doesn't seem like the nicest life. We'll put it that way. They're both rich. It's not about the money. And apparently, TMZ's reporting that Brad is being investigated for child abuse. That's being refuted. I guess there was some stern language or talking to it. In the long run, who gives a shit? But our national sweethearts have broken up, and there should be a day of mourning somehow. So, Anyways, I didn't even see the actual score of the Yankee game. Oh, yes, I did. I saw it was 2-0, and I just see somebody's tweet here says, "At Yankees, fuck you guys, pathetic." Oh, it's very nice. So, I guess that's about it. Don King is endorsing Donald Trump, two people that really deserve each other. Seriously. I don't think Donald Trump's murdered anyone. Don King has. He's pilfered money out of 1 million people. And he has murdered. He's ended lives. Not in a ring, but on the streets. That Don King. Only in America! Let's end it with NFL picks, shall we? I need to get some sort of music or something playing in the background here, huh? Okay. Yeah, I like... All right. Okay. That's not bad. I don't like a ton of games this week. Currently, all right, so let's say do this. After week 2, I am 2-4. That is not good. We need to change things. We need to turn things around for you because you know what? I can tell what your wallet looks like if you're going up based on my picks. There ain't a lot there. So listen, go to the ATM, call your bookie or offshore Bovada account. We don't have to call them. You just do what you got to do. And get ready, because I think I'm going to give you picks here. Even though I don't love the games this week. One game I do like here is Kansas City over the Jets at home, -3. I think the Jets are not good. And I think going into a tough place in Kansas City, which Arrowhead Stadium is always a tough place to play. You know that going back to the days of Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare. I just got so wrapped up, I lost the thing here. Okay, so yeah, -3. Give me Kansas City -3. I like that. The Jets, I'm sorry. That's a tough game, and it's only 3 points. I know Kansas City does not score a lot. That is a concern, but I still think they'll win that game by more than 3. What was the other game I kind of liked? Jesus, what was it? A lot of these games are not really jumping out at me. I almost want to take Detroit +7 against Green Bay in Green Bay. Green Bay's had some scares, or actually, I don't know, how did they do last week? I know they had a scare first week. They lost. Oh, I don't know about that one. Let me take that one back. They're coming off a loss. They might just destroy the Lions. So take that back. Take that one off the board. Let's see. I want to take Tampa Bay. We've seen 2 different Jameis Winstons. They're at home against the Rams. 5.5 is a little high for me. I'd like that if it was a little lower. I don't like that one. I don't like that. Jesus Christ. Let's see here. I know I'm rambling here. I apologize. You need picks. You need them now. They're not giving a lot of respect to Baltimore's 2-0 on the road at Jacksonville. I mean, the Ravens are actually a 1-point underdog. What did the Ravens do last week? On the road against Cleveland, only won by 5. And then they beat Buffalo week 1, I believe. You know what? And I know Jacksonville's improved. How did Jacksonville do last week? How the hell they do? Oh, they got destroyed in San Diego. Okay. Fuck it. Joe Flacco's elite. Give me the Ravens +1. We're going to have CBS Sports lines here on Thursday night at 9:56 East Coast time. So far we got Kansas City -3, Baltimore Baltimore -1. Excuse me. Let's take that back. So basically we're just looking for a win there, for at least the push. So give me Baltimore, at least for push. Come on, give me a fucking break. And what is this? Indianapolis is getting points at home. Giving points. I always get confused with the terminology. They're -2.5 versus San Diego. All right, this podcast is going a little too long here. I apologize. I don't want to take it. Man, I almost want to take San Francisco. Seattle's -9.5. Have they even scored 9 points this year? San Francisco stinks, though. They're really not that good. All right, so here we go. We got Kansas City -3. We're going to go with Baltimore -1, and we're going to go with all favorites. And give me Dallas -7. That's a little high for me. I have a feeling I'm going to regret that one. But the Bears are awful, and I think it's going to be a very, very long year for the Chicago Bears. So those are my picks. We're 2-4. Let's try to improve that. Come on, we can do it. Do it for the good of the nation. Do it for fucking David Ortiz already. Christ, the man doesn't get enough respect. So Kansas City -3, Dallas -7, and Baltimore -1. All favorites for week 3 in the NFL. All right, that's the podcast. I appreciate everyone for listening. Remember, if you want to listen to this one and all the other podcasts I've done, and there's so many, and there's just so much bitching and moaning, which, I rip on David Ortiz for it, but we're two peas in a pod, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. It's dual personalities, You can always listen on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, YouTube, and Google Play. Remember, subscribe so you do not miss any episode, because they may be coming out at haphazard times while I'm away, or maybe just in general. If you like the show, remember to leave a review. It's important. It's important. If you've not left a review yet, rethink your life. Think about it. You're like, okay, he's talking about reviews again. Why haven't I done it? It's a great question. It's a great question for all of us, and I'm disappointed if you haven't left one. So this should be a wake-up call. This should be a wake-up call for a lot of things in your life, including leaving a review. Even if you don't want a written one, just touch the stars. 5 stars. Boom. And remember, on Twitter, @BrianBuck13 and @RedTicketBlues. With all that being said, I'm out here.